Oh my gosh, we have just arrived at Leopard Safaris, which is located in Yala National Park, one of the best places to go on a safari and see elephants in Sri Lanka. We're going to be here for 2 nights, taking 3 safaris. Let's take a tour. Before arriving at Leopard Safaris in Yala, the team will contact you or your driver to let you know that you need to be dropped off at this beautiful Buddhist temple, which is located a short 5-minute drive from the camp. We highly recommend doing a little tour. Take about 5 to 10 minutes just to walk around the temple. You'll see that there's a seated Buddha as well as a huge standing Buddha, which makes for a great selfie. There's also a beautiful white stupa. You can see there's elephants that flank the staircase as well as 2 lions. Once you spot the Leopard Safaris team, you're going to hop into the safari vehicle and they're going to drive you along a beautiful bumpy little road to get to the camp, which is just less than 10 minutes away. You're going to hop down this staircase and give a high five because you have arrived. Leopard Safaris is ranked as the best outfitter in the region. When you get there, they're going to give you a nice cool oshibori towel, and then you're going to walk over this beautiful little bridge to their bar and lounge. It's got a gorgeous thatched roof. It kind of has this like African safari vibe. Inside the lounge, there's beautiful beanbag chairs, super comfy. The gentleman there on the right is by the bar. There's also a table filled with nature books about Yala, so you can learn more about the animals at the park. After your oshibori towel, you'll get a welcome drink, which was tamarind juice, a local exotic fruit. After checking in, you're going to be sent to your villa. Our villa is a tented camp and it's their honeymoon suite. So you're going to walk down these wooden placards. You can see the name of our spot is called Tusker. So the honeymoon tent is along this wooden boardwalk that goes right over this river and pond. The lanterns you see there in the evening are lit up with kerosene, so it's quite romantic as you walk to dinner in the evening. The tented camp here has obviously a tarp over the top, and then on the front deck you've got a chair as well as a really cool chair made of what looks like driftwood. Inside you'll see there's a work desk on the left. On the right, you've got a mini bar, coffee, tea, and then there's a 4-poster bed made with local wood, really comfy bed with beautiful duvet and comfy pillows. And then you've got an outdoor toilet with a his and her sink and a rain shower that's al fresco, so you can shower under the stars. They have a swimming pool with a fleet of comfy lounge chairs. The safaris happen in the morning and the evening, so you have several hours in the middle of the day, which is the hottest time of day, after breakfast and before lunch, to have a beer and go for a swim. It's amazing. Let's check out the food program. So at breakfast, they set up an al fresco meal. We ordered French press coffee, and then they had tons of platters of fresh tropical sliced fruit. You can order whatever eggs you'd like. And during our breakfast, they had sausages. They had these here are crepes, like little pancakes filled with roasted coconut with like a palm sugar. It's so delicious. And then during lunch, we're going to come across this bridge here. There's a separate area that they hosted our lunch. You can see we always have a team that are serving food and beverage, and they set up the meals outside and they're communal, so you're going to eat with the other people that you've enjoyed your safari with. The first lunch we had included a pork curry, leek curry, katu roti, as well as egg roti and lime pickle. It was absolutely delicious. Katu roti is a classic Sri Lankan street food, and it's my sister's favorite meal that we've had on the trip. And then roti is a great way to grab your curry. So this is a pork curry filled with chunks of delicious pork loin, and we also had a leek curry too. Our second lunch was epic. We had it with a few more people, so they provided more dishes. There's a mango curry, 2 different kinds of rice with curry leaf, delicious potato curry, crispy curry leaves and elephant leaves, as well as banana flowers. And I really liked how the staff, when they came out to describe the curry dishes, they actually had a platter that showcased all of the different fruits and vegetables so we could see what we were eating really a great way to educate the guests about the food here. Pre-dinner cocktails. So once you've finished your evening for safari, you're encouraged to arrive at the lounge at around 7 p.m. after you've had a shower. They have local vodka, rum, as well as arak, which is made of local coconut, and they have wine as well as local beer. We highly recommend getting the local ginger beer with rum, so you can have your own version of a Sri Lankan dark and stormy. Once you've finished your drinks, the staff will bring you over to dinner, which is always served al fresco by a booming bonfire, and you'll find lots of fireflies, and you can dine right under the sky. The barbecue also includes Sri Lankan dishes. Listen to all the beautiful bugs and birds chirping in the late evening as we eat.
Have you guys been to Canada at all?
Touched down briefly on a flight.
Like on your way to somewhere.
There are 2 safaris offered each day, and here's a map of the Yala National Park. The property is located really close to Block 1, but we also visited Block 5. So when you arrive for your safari, you're going to take the steps up to the Jeep, and the Jeep features 2 sets of seats as well as a long bench that could fit 3 people in the back. Our first safari was in the evening, which runs from 3 to 6 p.m., so you get back after sunset. Really fun to see all the other Jeeps on the roads. The roads are mostly dirt roads. It had just rained earlier, so you're going to see lots of puddles. They give you binoculars so you can spot the animals, and I'm going to walk you through what we saw. So the gray langur is the most common monkey that you'll see in Yala National Park. They travel in families. They're mischievous and really great climbers. Water buffalo, we ran into about 3 or 4 of them on our 3 different safaris, and they typically meander on the solo, so they're not traveling in herds. You'll see that they have ginormous horns, so watch out for them. We saw lots of different crocodiles. The really large ones tend to hang out farther away from the road, but you can see these 2 younger juvenile crocodiles chilling out by the water. You'll notice that the Jeeps connect with each other, so we'll often stop beside other Jeeps, and the guides and nature experts will chat about where they're seeing elephants, where they're spotting leopards, to make sure your experience is top-notch. This is a land monitor, so it's a ginormous lizard. We were just driving across the sand, and we noticed it. You'll see that it's skittering and scattering away once it notices that we're heading its way. One of the most common animals you'll see are spotted deer. They're all over the place, so if you love deer, you're going to love your afternoon safari. Morning safaris start at crack of dawn at 5 a.m. You can see this is a beautiful sunrise over a lily pond. Our afternoon safari took place at Block 1, but our morning safari took place at Block 5, which is about a 30-minute drive away. You'll notice that the topography is quite a lot different. This is a painted stork. There's lots of birds, so if you're a birder, you'll love this. This is a changeable crested hawk eagle. We actually saw several of them, and they actually sit quite close to the road, so I had never experienced something amazing like that. But the most incredible experience was actually spotting a leopard. You can see the leopard right there. They're very elusive. Sometimes you can go on 2 or 3 safaris and never actually see a leopard. So we were very lucky to have this moment in nature to see a leopard in the wild, and you can see all its beautiful spots, and we're just delighted to run into this great cat. It had rained for several days before we arrived, so I just wanted to show you the incredible puddles. These 4x4, like, incredible vehicles can just plow through muddy potholes and huge puddles that look like lakes. It was quite exciting and invigorating as we're, like, hanging on for dear life in the Jeep. Really cool. After we pedaled through the puddles, we arrived at the famous reservoir. So this used to be a forest, but they made a man-made lake in order to create a reservoir. You'll see we've arrived at the reservoir here. These are looking right over the waterfall, and I'm gonna give you a little tour so you can see what it looks like. So there's these different stations, and then just below there are these basically rapids down the river. And from the other side, you can see and hear the rush of the waves. During each safari, which lasts around 3 hours, they take a break and offer lots of snacks. You see there's bananas, there's ginger snap cookies, as well as chocolate cream cookies, casts of water, ginger beer, Coca-Cola, Sprite, and soda water. After deer, peacocks are the most common animal you'll see at Yala National Park, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Look at this one prancing. We were at the park in November during mating season, so you can see these are the males showing their beautiful tails, and then they turn around when they see one of the women, the ladybirds, and they start shaking their feathers and making this like hilarious noise. And we just stared at one of these males who was desperate for a mate. And we finally saw this dude find a female peacock that was enamored by the feathering and the shaking of his chuckas. And we were so excited to see if they would actually mate in the wild. There were other Jeeps just approaching in order to watch this beautiful National Geographic moment. You can see he's getting very excited. Then boom, he immediately in front of her shows all of his beautiful colors in hopes of finding Mrs. Right. After 3 safaris, we were absolutely ecstatic to find an elephant. What an amazing elephant. If you are heading to Yala National Park or want to go on a safari during your visit to Sri Lanka, we highly recommend staying at Leopard Safaris Yala. They're a sustainable operator. They really respect the wildlife, and the team is really knowledgeable. You're going to enjoy your trip to Sri Lanka. I'm going to leave you with sounds from our barbecue. Listen to all of the nightlife animals, birds, crickets, and insects as they chirp throughout the evening.
This was the best thing they did in Sri Lanka, and the best food as well. Oh, thank you.
Great compliment.
You certainly enjoyed that.